You don't need another strategy. Here's what you actually need to figure out why you can't implement the things that you already know. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storm, former psychologist, now business coach, and I help women just like us to build profitable private practices, usually in under 12 months. Being neurodivergent means I see the patterns that other coaches miss, but it also means I'm a truth teller, so I'm not interested in giving you any business advice that sounds good or might be trending, but doesn't actually work for us. Welcome to the Practice Momentum podcast, where we're going to get your private practice sorted out. Thanks so much for being here, and let's get on with the next episode. Okay, welcome back. Now, if you're in the position of needing clients, this is going to be a short, sharp, down and dirty episode for you that hopefully you're going to find super duper helpful, and I'm basing it on what's working right now. Okay, so what was working 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, as you are all aware, things are a changing. So I'm just going to dive right in. Okay, so if you aren't getting inquiries, if nobody's booking in, it can be for a few reasons, and the one I'm going to focus on today is called lead gen, right? Lead generation. And it simply means, in marketing speak, it's the way that people become aware that your practice exists, that it's around, and they start to get curious and all those kinds of things, okay? It's about when we're thinking about getting clients or students or supervisees or people for our courses and our memberships and our subscriptions and all the things like our digital products too, we have an audience, right? You have to have an audience. Otherwise, there's no point trying to sell something, whether that's your one-to-one therapy sessions or whatever it is, right? When you do it in reverse, you go and you make the thing first and then you try and sell it, you're going to be experiencing quite a lag. Okay, now, you've heard me say it so many times, business happens in 90-day cycles. If you start a private practice before you build your audience, what do you think is going to happen when you open the doors and, you're like, I'm available? There's not going to be anybody there to book in. You've done it backwards. Okay, not your fault. It happens because there's not enough people that teach you this, which is why this podcast is in the top 5% globally of all marketing podcasts. I do teach you this, right? Yes, I have my other episodes where I go off on little tangents and talk about, life behind the scenes, but, there's also good stuff here. So anyway, we have in our audience, ideally, if you're going to start a private practice, right? For those of you who are thinking about it, I'll just say now, if you're thinking to yourself, it's February, I just got my qualification in November, December, I've taken January, February off to think about my practice and design my logo and all these things, great, amazing. Before you open the diary, you need to start marketing your practice. And the reason for that is because you want to be able to say, like today's the 26th of February, right? So you want to be able to say, what's that? March, April, May. You want to open in May and tell people, opening in May, coming soon, very excited, da, 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 da. And then 1st of May, boom, you open, and then here we go. You've already got people to see. They've already been booking into the diary. They're ready to go. They're ready to see you. That's how you start a private practice. Too many people don't know that. And, they think, get the name, get the logo, make the pretty website, and ta-da, here I am. Where are all my clients? And then they quickly scramble. And it's like, what do you mean I've got to optimize my website? What do you mean I've got to be found by AI? What do you mean this, that, and the other? And so they're scrambling, feeling like they're hustling, feeling like they're doing all of this work. And they keep refreshing the diary, no new clients. They're like, where are my clients? And it takes them weeks, months to get all of this stuff done, i.e. the 90 days. And they don't realize that every time they make a change to a significant element on their website, like a H1 or a H2, a main heading, a subheading, things like that, how the layout of the website. They don't understand. They think they're going in and they're improving it, which maybe they are. Hopefully they are. But every time they go into the website and they make a change to one of those elements, guess what also happens? The algorithm resets and they start their 90 days from scratch all over again. And they don't realize because nobody's telling them. So then they come back to me and they go, well, Brooklyn, it's been nearly 90 days and I still don't have any clients. I'm like, when was the last time you messed around with your website? Oh, well, hubby and I were doing it on the weekend. Okay, so no, your 90 days starts again. Leave your website alone. Go and change things that don't really matter that much. Absolutely. Anything that does matter, leave it alone. So anyway, when we've got a private practice, if you're in the position where you're already in it, right? Let's say you're already in it. You didn't know any of this, that you should have been marketing, building an audience beforehand. That's fine. We're going to sort it out for you now. So, just before we do though, with building an audience, as I said, the reason that we do that is so that there's people, they're ready to go and ready to book in. And the way that we do it is, well, there's two ways now, officially. One is SEO. Now, probably all heard of it. I used to be really scared of SEO. I knew nothing about SEO as recently as up until maybe about, 10 years ago. And even then, I struggled to get my head around it. It all felt very technical and I didn't really know what I was doing. But now, nearly all website builders include an SEO tool. They are fine. They have been created by website platforms to make sure that when you use them correctly, your website can be shared with people who are looking for the things that you offer. Don't think because it's Wix or GoDaddy or it's WordPress or something, it's not going to be good enough and you need to get one of those guys who, inboxes you from Siberia telling you how he's an expert in your SEO. You don't need those guys, right? You're a little private practice. You're not Amazon, okay? You're a little private practice. You don't need all those people. You can do it without. Trust the SEO tool that you've given, because especially when it comes with your website tool, they're going to make sure that it works because they want to keep you. They want you renewing your hosting, renewing your subscription, using more of their tools. So it's in their best interest to make sure they give you really, really good SEO tools. So that's the first thing, right? We want to make sure that your website is fully optimized. SEO just stands for search engine optimization. A search engine is just the place, the platform where your potential clients go to get information about what you do. So it's Google, it's Safari, it's Chrome, it's Firefox. I use DuckDuckGo for everything. It's DuckDuckGo. I'm a conspiracy theorist, okay? I don't want people tracking all my stuff. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, we want it to be found. And that's what search engine optimization does. It will guide you through making sure that you're using they're called keywords. A keyword is just something that your clients typically, generally, by and large, type into a search engine when they're looking for the thing that you offer. This is why being a generalist generally doesn't work, because nobody is usually looking for very general things like life transitions, okay, or safe spaces and stuff like that. They're normally looking for specifics, and that's what a niche is. It's a specific. So that's why niching is very, very important. And it also means that when you are niche and you've got the specifics there, yes, you can work with other people, other presentations, use other modalities, all of the things, but it means that you become known for something in internet land, okay? If you're wishy-washy, your page, the chances of your page ever being shown to a potential client are pretty much zero. Okay, we don't want that. The practices that fill the quickest are the ones with specific niches and very specific targeted messaging, which I know for many women can feel counterintuitive because you think, oh, well, I'm denying everyone, or I'm cutting off my nose to spite my face and I can't afford to be turning people. No, what you get booked more quickly the more specific your message is. Okay, so that's SEO. The other thing that works really well for generating leads is making sure that your website is discoverable by artificial intelligence. Okay, now that's a little bit different. SEO is all about driving traffic to your website based on whatever the user, that's what they're called, anybody like potential clients using the search engines, whatever they're typing into Google, right? Let's just stick with Google. AI works a little bit differently though. AI works on authority. Authority is defined, conceptualized in the AI sphere as consistency with your messaging. You need to be talking about the same things all the time, everywhere. That's how you're assessed and recognized by AI as being the go-to person. So if you're just posting random crap on your social media because you feel like you need to be posting something because your supervisor said, oh, just go and post every day, right? And you don't have a plan, you are being wishy-washy, or worse, you're going into something like ChatGPT, you're getting it to help you because you heard somewhere that, you know, it can help you create content. And then you're pretty much just copying and pasting slabs of output into your social media, for example. Yeah, problem, because you're going to be, I guess, watering down your niche and watering down your message and watering down your authority. For me, one of the things that I talk about a lot is marketing private practice, for example, how to get clients and things like that. In fact, you know, you can go back, you see all the episodes, there's loads of them, right? I'm getting recognized in categories in this podcast now that I never thought I'd be recognized in. I'm right up there with Gary Vaynerchuk, you know, I mean, what the H? I never thought in a million years. It was never a goal, but it's happened because I talk about getting clients for your private practice a lot. In fact, more than any other private practice coach, according to the data. So that's one of the things that AI says to my audience. So if you were to go into Google or ChatGPT or something like that, and you were like, who's a private practice coach for women counselors, psychologists, and social workers that helps them to get clients, or that's known for marketing or something like that, my name comes up first. And it's not necessarily because I'm an expert in it. I've never done a marketing course, but it's because I talk about it all the time, right? I'm teaching about it all the time. I'm giving freebies all the time. It's in my emails all the time. It's constant. So you will have a theme in your messaging as well. Hopefully, you should. If you want your practice to be recommended as you know, let me just explain myself. Okay, if you're going to Google now, right? It's changed. 6 months ago, you used to just be able to type stuff into Google and up will come your recommendations, right? Google would say, oh, here are the best websites based on the question that you asked. And you would get your list of websites and you could just start clicking around on them, right? Of course, a lot of the time you would get sponsored results. That's people who've paid for Google Ads. Now, though, when you go and you type into Google, you also get right at the very top, right? Depending on what you're searching for and stuff like that, it's often even before the people who've paid the money to Google for the ads, Google will give an AI summary. And the summary is the AI pulling together all of the information of all of the authority people. And it puts together a little summary, puts some key points, got some clickable links, and you'll also see beside some of the points in the little summary a grey I don't know, it looks like a grey capsule, right, on the side, little grey sort of button with a link. That's a citation. People click those links all the time for more information, right? You can get your practice summarized for the thing, right? So if your thing is, I don't know, maybe you're supporting perimenopausal women with, relationships or body image or something like that, then that's very specific, right? And if you're talking about that a lot in lots of different places, then you will probably get recommended. And your website will be referenced in one of those little grey capsules, like a reference list or bibliography type thing. People can click on that, go over to your website, learn more about what you do, and hey ho, book in. So that's one thing. And then the other thing that Google does is it'll put 3 businesses that it recommends. It'll put them beside that AI summary in a little column, not in any particular order of who's best or not, because AI doesn't rank. Google ranks everything. Google ranks based on all of its criteria, which is, the SEO stuff. But AI doesn't rank anybody. AI is simply wanting to show whoever's asking for the information, I'm pretty confident these are the places that are going to work best for you. And here's 1, 2, 3 things that you might want to go and look at, right? So again, it comes back to, if you want to be discovered by AI and get AI showing your website, showing your business to potential clients, you must have a niche. And you must not only have a niche, but it can't be general. So if you're saying, oh, well, I do walk and talk for grief and loss, amazing, but so do bucket loads of other practices. There's no authority there. If you said, I do a walk and talk for grief and loss of, for women who lost their husbands to, I don't know, COVID or something like that, right? Yes. And you wrote about that, you spoke about that, you were on LinkedIn, you were on different platforms, maybe you were blogging, maybe you had a podcast, whatever it is. Then when somebody's typing into Google, lost my husband due to COVID, guess whose practice gets shown? And guess who gets the clicks, right? That's the thing about AI. Now you might be wondering, oh, well, how long does it take AI and SEO to work? Well, fantastic question. As I said, everything's 90-day cycles from the day you last stopped effing around with it. All right, hands off. Make the last change to your website today. Go into your calendar. Fast forward to 3 months' time. Put a note in your diary to go and check your Google Analytics. Okay, do that. Then come back to Google Analytics now, take a screenshot of your metrics, take a screenshot of your data there, and keep it in a folder called My Google Analytics. Very easy, okay? And then in 90 days, you'll be able to do compare and contrast. What worked, what didn't, did this change work, did it not, blah, 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 okay? Very, very important. With AI, it's a little bit different. Now, because AI is authority-based, it's going to take you time to get all of that authority accumulating, right? You can't just decide today, oh yeah, shivers, Brooklyn said, oh gosh, yes, I need a more specific message and I've been resisting it and don't want to do it, but okay, fine, I'll do it because I want ChatGPT or Google or Bing or Perplexity to recognize me, fine, I'll do it. And then come back to me in 2 weeks and go, well, I did it and it didn't work, Brooklyn. Well, it's not going to work because it takes time for AI to recognize that you've got history here, because the reality is you don't. You started 2 weeks ago with your specific message, and in that 2 weeks you have nowhere near put enough stuff out there to be identified or recognized as the authority on that. It takes time. How long does it take? 90 days. Now, you can start to see improvements in things within as little as 2 weeks, right? Absolutely. But to get the improvements within 2 to 4 weeks, what I see in my experience is my clients who would go and I teach them, I give them an AI discoverability playbook. Prior to that, I also give them loads of tools that they can use to improve their AI discoverability. And what my clients inside Momentum usually find is that, yes, they can start to see improvement in traffic and things like that in 2 to 4 weeks, but they've already previously had the niche, they've had the specific messaging, they've been tweaking their SEO and things like that. But if you're coming in cold and you've got none of that behind you, no, you're looking at, 8 to 12 weeks, maybe more. So, you have to get it in perspective. Things are not going to happen tomorrow because you change them today. AI is all about history, and you ain't got no history if you haven't been talking about a specific thing for a long period of time, or you've got a lot of content about the specific thing. And also with both, not so much SEO, but more AI. If you use something like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you're using to help you create stuff, and you're trusting it and you're thinking you're doing the right thing, and you're like going, okay, great, and you're copying and pasting it and you're putting it wherever, you need to understand that there's algorithms out there across search engines that are now becoming tighter. So I don't know, I think maybe I did mention this on the last episode on the weekend, but yeah, recently even Google came out and said that they're de-ranking websites that are loaded up with AI. So yeah, I think sometimes we just don't know because we haven't learned, and we're just like hearing through the grapevine, oh yeah, we should be using ChatGPT. But if you don't know how to use it, you're using it wrong. And what's happening is you might be trying really hard with your marketing, but you're not getting any of those inquiries because you don't know that Google is saying, oh, okay, Brooklyn's looking for, trauma counseling, and, I've got 10 websites here. These 3 websites are talking about trauma counselling for the things she's looking for. But oh dear, 2 of them are AI. So they're fake websites. So boom, don't get shown. Don't get shown. So you're going to be sitting there saying to me, oh, well, I did what you said and I updated the website, and it's still not working. And I'm going to be confused, scratching my head because I know this stuff does work. And I'm going to say to you, let me go and see your website. And as soon as I see your website, I can tell straight away this is an AI message because it's got weird words. It's got weird combinations of words in it that we would just never use to describe our experiences, right? It's got weird words, it's got weird patterns, it's not this, it's that, you're not broken, it's this. It's got very short sentences, that's another pattern. So we'll have like 3 sentences and each sentence might just have 3 words. You're not this, it's just that. You can this, right? Boom, 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 just 3 short sentences. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake. And those freaking M dashes everywhere, So what happens is, AI is like fake. And Google keeps people on its platform for providing accurate information. Google keeps people coming back to its platform because it provides the correct matches for users when they're looking for things. And it is being flooded with AI content. So now it ranks more highly. You could have some pretty bad content. But if you wrote it, I say by your hand, but you know what I mean? Like if you wrote it yourself, you're going to rank higher than someone who's copied and pasted some output from ChatGPT. All right. That's a very, 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 very helpful tip. One of the most helpful things that I can say to you about ChatGPT is trust yourself. Don't worry too much about ChatGPT and the output. It's a thinking partner, not a doing partner. It is not going to do your copywriting for you. It can do drafts, but you must always go and refine it. You pick it up, throw it into a Google Doc, read it out loud, and you will hear how ridiculous some of the stuff sounds. If you don't do that, you might just read it and your brain's going to allow for the idiotic words that are here, like steadiness, quiet depression. We don't use those words, okay? So to get more clients, SEO first. Then you want to have your niche really clear, messaging around it, and share content in whatever way you like that is unique to you. You brainstormed with ChatGPT, but then you actually came up with a thing and you wrote it. We want you to get known for something, okay? Because AI is not going to send you, or is not going to show your website or recommend your service or anything like that if you're not an authority. All right, we want your practice to be an authority. Now, just quickly, I think I've got like 5 or 10 minutes left before I've got to go. I'm just thinking what else I can share with you that will help you. They're two of the main lead generating ways. The other way is to, of course, have your freebie. Again, no PDFs, people. It's outdated. A PDF is so 2024. We're in 2026 now. You need an interactive PDF. Interactive PDF. I guess you could have an interactive PDF, right? You could have a clickable checklist. That'd maybe work. But anyway, you need an interactive freebie, and you need to set it up the right way. It's got to collect an email address, and it's got to ensure that the person gets the thing that they're, giving you, like their email, in exchange for. And it actually has to solve a problem, which means gone are the days where you could just whack together a PDF on box breathing. No, your clients now have access to quite sophisticated levels of information if they choose to look at it, or look for it rather, that they didn't have access to before. So now it's about implementation. So you need to give them a tool that they can implement, and then you need to actively market it. So just dumping it in the, banner section on your website is not marketing. That's just letting people know who are already there that, you've got something. Active marketing means you got to every day, get this thing out in front of people. Okay. The easiest way to do that, I have found in my experience, share it on your Facebook as a story. Use the link that's a sticker. So there's a sticker icon when you go to do a story. So just go into your feed. All right. Up the top of your feed, you're going to see a little square with a plus sign. Click that. It'll say, do you want to do a story, a post, a reel? Click story. Go into your photo library, find a photo, upload the photo, put some text on the screen, and then use the sticker icon. Look for the sticker that is literally a picture of a link. Add that sticker. It will then give you the option to add the URL and some text for the link. Do that, add it, put some trending music on it, and hit post. Done. Take you 60 seconds. Do it every day. And what's going to happen is over time, people will start to download your thing. They'll get into your email list, right? So we're bringing in cold people who've never heard of you. They're having a really fantastic experience with the freebie. They're like, OMG. They're telling everyone about it because it was novel. It was exciting for them. It was good. Nobody's doing it. They love it, right? And they're going to be opening your emails, and then they're going to be coming back going, well, what else has she got? So don't just have one freebie. You want to have 3 or 5 minimum. The more freebies you have, the better it is, because we want to keep cold people who are now warming up to you. They're getting familiar with you, right? So they're unfamiliar. Now they're becoming familiar. They're getting to know you. They were out there on the dating app. Now you've met for coffee. Now they're like hanging out in your world a little bit more, but you still haven't done the deed. We're keeping them warm. We're keeping them interested. We're still helping and still supporting. So yeah, one freebie ain't going to cut it, because they're going to lose interest after a week, because you want to send like a bunch of emails and they go over the space of a week. Then after that, what happens? Poof. You just disappear from their awareness because you were in your head about how many times you should email them. So, poof, just gone. They forget about you and all your hard work's undone. Have more freebies. You will start to see, 6 months, 12 months, you'll be able to go into your email marketing platform, look at all your landing pages, your opt-in pages, whatever you want to call them. You'll see all your data and you'll go, oh, so interesting. I thought this freebie was so good, but turns out nobody really liked it. But this one over here, I wasn't so sure about, and hey, it was my biggest download. What's this telling me? Right? Very helpful information. So anyway, lead generation. If you're not getting inquiries, you can't be converting anyone. You can't be booking anyone. So for you, it's going to be, how do we get people into your world that don't know you exist yet? SEO, AI, freebies. Okay? Simple. All right, my loves, I hope that this was super duper helpful. I will talk to you later, but right now I have to go and get ready because we're doing the mastermind session this morning in Practice Momentum Ascend. And yeah, I can't wait. I love Practice Momentum so much. All right, have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Private Practice Podcast. So as you reflect on today's insights, imagine creating real success in your private practice without going down rabbit holes or exhausting yourself with business activities that don't move the needle. With Practice Momentum, you have push of a button help available on demand. It's like having an expert in your pocket ready to guide you whenever you need it. Visit brooklynstorm.com to discover how Practice Momentum can transform your approach to building a thriving practice. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the mind, business, and spirit of private practice success.